The first one, a new report shows just how destructive the loneliness crisis in America has become, and it is deeply affecting young people. And that is according to a new survey from Hopelab and Data for Progress. So we can take a look at some of these charts here. You can pull it up. Okay. So as you can see, these are issues that most young people say impact their mental health to the point of disrupting their daily life. And loneliness is right up there at the top, along with, let's see, over half of Americans surveyed. This is ages 13 to 24. Saying loneliness has a daily disruptive impact on their mental health. Family problems came in second, with 48.6% reporting that they have disrupted their mental health to the point of disrupting daily life. And that is very sad. Yeah, especially for that age group, a lot of them are still living at home with their families and things like that. So if they have a contentious family life, that is a very, very difficult thing for them to endure. And I do feel for them. But let's see, other issues like gun violence and homophobia and racism, abortion restrictions, those do still have an impact on respondents' mental health. Not as much. Social media has got 18%, gun violence 14%, abortion 9%. And these results are specifically for those who responded with fair or poor mental health. So this is among the people who already don't have the best mental health, and these are the reasons why they say they have less than great mental health. So when we look at the entire survey it was 1,304 respondents, with 55% reporting good mental health, about 1 in 3 people still say that loneliness impacts their daily life. And family issues also gets 37% of all respondents, while loneliness and having no clear path both get 35%. That is sad. The not having a clear path one is very distressing, especially in these times. I think that it's very relatable. I mean, I'm a solid millennial. I was born in 1988. I grew up in the 90s, and I came of age right around the time of Y2K. And going forward, it's really hard to make any kind of plans in your life, because you never know what's going to happen with the housing crisis, with the job market. Here in Texas, I don't know what's going on with healthcare, especially women's healthcare. There's so many reasons why millennials and now Gen Z could be not just hesitant to take big life strides, hit major milestones, or just avoid them, but also it's like those aren't even options for a lot of us in a lot of ways. So another interesting thing that the survey found was that the state of one's mental health strongly correlates with their income and their sexuality. Go figure. Per their findings, LGBTQ plus youth rate their mental health as poor and nearly triple the rate of non-LGBTQ plus youth. And those young people who struggle to meet basic expenses report poor mental health at more than triple the rate of those who live comfortably. That is, obviously to be expected. Yet despite how high loneliness ranks on the issues youth deal with, solo downtime is one of the top activities that respondents turn to boost their mood. And when you ask how much do the following activities support your well-being or mental health, let's see, 46% responded by saying solo downtime helps them a lot. 25% said that quite a bit of downtime helps them, and 16% said somewhat. 43% said that face-to-face friend time helped them a lot, and only 33% said the same of family time. So they like their friends better than their family, and that makes sense, because you choose your friends. You don't always get to choose your family. You really just get lucky if you like the people in your family, and even then, it's always a little bit of a complicated relationship. You always have to maintain that. Waz, what do you make of this? I mean, I really do feel for the youth, and I'm still including myself in that statement, even though I'm gonna be 37 this year. But millennials I feel like we age slower.
Very youthful 37. Respect to that.
Thank you.
I think it's just a combination of factors. We're just a less social society. What do I mean by that? In terms of stuff like bowling league memberships, right? This is something that people often bring up, nobody's in a bowling league anymore, where, once a week you get together with a group of people and you do a group activity and socialize. That's down, way down from where it was in the 1960s and 70s. People going to church, straight up. I'm not a religious person. at all. I wish people could figure out how to treat people the right way without like needing a guidebook that was made 1,000 something years ago. But whatever. At the same time, the church or the mosque or the synagogue is a place that people come together every single week or multiple times a week, and there's a collective community. There's a bunch of people invested in you, not just your family, but your community members, invested in your engagement, your graduation, your job promotion, your birthday. Like, that stuff matters, and less people are a part of that. So we're just a way less social society as it is. The technology that's become dominant doesn't help. Then you mix that with, especially people who are our age, especially who were fed the idea, when you come from an immigrant background, like, yo, you go to college, you take on a bunch of debt, there's gonna be a sick job waiting for you on the other side of that. Don't worry. That's the path to, a satisfying, successful middle class existence, which has been completely shut down for a bunch of people. That pipeline from college to the middle class has kind of been very slowed and shut down. So you add all these factors, yeah. People are spending more time on their phone, on their computer, playing video games, becoming like unhealthily obsessed with Taylor Swift. Like, there's all of these factors are working together on people and creating these conditions. And you hear about young people, oh, I love my health, I don't drink, whatever, they're so much better than us because they don't drink. Well, guess what? You know what drinking does? It helps you talk to people, communicate with strangers, like meet new people out at the bar. I read somewhere that young people think it's cringe to talk to strangers when you're out at a bar.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it's cringe for a dude to say what up to you, ask you what your name is, and buy you a freaking Bud Light or whatever the hell it is y'all are even drinking at this point. And again, look, it's not their fault. They were handed this horrible technology that incentivizes the dumbest behaviors. But like, it's pretty sad to hear that like, if I was a dude who was 21 years old and I'm in college and I go to a bar, that it's frowned upon after, a couple of the most horrible vodka well drinks that man has ever known.
Vodka
That I go
Red
up to
Bulls.
a woman, introduce myself, and try to get her to come back to my dirty ass dorm room. That's crazy to me.
The days of our lives, really, truly, just like I do feel for them, because like everything is documented, or they're at risk of everything being documented.
Yeah, that's
But
another thing,
I
too.
have said, like, I don't know what goes on in the dating world these days, but it seems terrifying. And if I was like a member of Gen Z, or just if I was single, I wouldn't even know how to proceed with any of it, Like, if something happens with me and my husband, if we end up not being together in the future, I'm just gonna be single for the rest of my life, because like, who can deal? Who can be bothered? Like, I'll be happy, I'll be fine on my own. But you did bring up like a few really good points, like church and like just any kind of religious community. I mean, I'm not religious, my husband is not religious, and whenever we talk about having kids, that is like a big thing that we talk about, because like neither of us wants to raise our children in a religious community, but we were both raised in religious communities, and there is something good to be said, not so much about the religion for me personally, but or I should say in my opinion, but just the community aspect of it. And I haven't found a way to
It's
get
hard to replicate.
similar. Yeah, you can't do it. You and I are both also from like immigrant Caribbean families, and like that whole ecosystem of growing up with, like, I don't know about you, but I have like a million cousins, and we all had like big get-togethers, and they're always at somebody's house. And we never had babysitters because I had some aunt was watching me, or a grandparent, somebody. like we really were raised by our community, whatever that community was. And even just one generation removed from that, my kids are gonna grow up very, very differently from the way that I grew up. And that does make me very sad. And maybe I
Well,
am
you
just
know,
like,
you add to the fact that like I would wake up on a summer morning when I was 10 years old, 11 years old, disappear from my house and not be back till 9 p.m.
yeah,
Nobody gave a damn. It was fine.
yeah,
Nobody thought some guy in a white van was gonna scoop me up. I mean, he'd probably brought me back anyway. Like, yeah, take him back. I don't think
can't
I
deal with
need
him.
this one. Like the conditions that we grew up under. Like parents these days are just like terrified of everything.
Yeah.
And so that sheltering that they do around the kids that are growing up, it contributes to it. And and again, I feel for these people because, you know, even if you are busting your hump in college,
Mhm.
but you don't know what's coming after it for you, like you feel this precarity. That's a horrible feeling. And then as a guy, you know you're not allowed to talk to women, and as a chick you're taught to think that men, people of the opposite sex, are scary and disgusting and blah blah blah. Like, what is that gonna do besides breed loneliness, alienation,
Mhm.
discontent, and seeking these artificial ass connections online? They're fake. There's nothing holding these connections together. It's not the real thing.
Mhm.
It's not like, me and my buddies going to the freaking Hispanic part of town to go to a teen club, taking the damn train back at 3:30 in the morning, cold as like, what the hell? Like, like building these bonds. You
Mhm.
can't do that kind of stuff
Mhm.
online. It's fake.
Yeah.
Online is fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Like in
I
terms of interpersonal connections, you can
yeah.
have affinity groups. Okay. Like, yeah, we all like, Lil Wayne. I'm in the Lil Wayne Facebook group. Oh, you guys remember that song? Blah blah blah. Posted in the. That's cool. I got nothing against that. It's not the same as genuine community, genuine human connection.
Mhm. Yeah, even for me, like whenever I get sad, it's usually because I just haven't seen my friends in a while,
Yeah.
like here in Houston, it's such a giant sprawling city and there's no like public transport. Everybody's busy with their jobs or with their kids or whatever. And like my two best friends each live an hour away from me in opposite directions. I don't see them. Like I don't see my friends. And it makes me sad because it's like, even if we don't have to do anything, just like come over and sit with me at my house and we'll just like watch Downton Abbey or whatever, like just like those little things, that's how we build connections. And also like I feel like for millennials and maybe the younger generations will also like learn to adopt this skill, but I feel like we got really, really good at pivoting. Like we really learned how to pivot because the minute we got out of college, they were like, oh, there's an economic crisis, there's a housing
Mm-hmm.
crisis, there's all these
Mm-hmm.
reasons why you're not gonna get all the things that you were promised. And so we learned how to hustle and we learned how to, take on different
It's
jobs.
called grit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, and
called
we got
grit.
it.
All of these
We
kids
have it.
talking about burnout. Ain't no such thing as burnout. It's called
Don't
grit.
know her. Yeah.
Step up, pick yourself up, and get ready to go again. You fall down, Kate, you get up and you bust your hump and kill it again. That's what we do. All of this, I'm good. I don't really feel like doing that. All of that indifference, hell no. We believed in
I mean,
perseverance, resilience. That's what we came up under. And that's all these kids got to learn.
I
Grit,
mean,
perseverance, resilience.
we're
The
still
three
pivoting
keys
though,
to
I
life.
feel. Like we're still trying to like figure out what's going on and we're just like, okay, like let me see what I can do. Like, my husband works in like he's a software engineer and it's just like, okay, like maybe some but that wasn't even what he studied in college, right? I
Yeah.
have an MBA that I don't use. I
Yeah.
had a completely different career before I started doing this type of work. And like I was saying in the break, like I didn't necessarily intend to be on camera, but like, bro, we pivot, like we do what we got to do. And I love this job now, so I am very happy to have it. But, it's just like the nature of things. And I really wish that I had something to say to make people feel better. I don't love that people are feeling lonely. I don't love how disconnected we feel. I think people who watched me enough on this show like know how I feel about technology and social media and things like that. And I don't feel fondly about any of it. I am admittedly a bit of a Luddite, but that is a very like personal thing. But it's really just because I remember what it was like growing up, and like we didn't have these technologies that were sucking up people's attention all the time. And anytime you go out, all you see is people on their phones. And back in the day, like we really did just engage with people in conversations way more often. We weren't afraid of people, especially not in our communities, because of something that we saw on the internet, telling us who these people are or could be. We just weren't as afraid. And yeah, like we used to like go outside, and like play outside. And I don't see children outside anymore. Maybe because I'm in Texas and it's too hot.
I think the message to the younger people for me, and I'm speaking to the guys, and I'm speaking to the guys that are into girls, because I feel like gay guys don't have a problem getting laid. So we don't need to worry about them.
You know that.
They're good. But like, before you do anything, I really do think, and I truly believe this, you need to figure out how to get laid, bro. Like once you figure that out, and trust me, she's probably not gonna look like Sydney Sweeney or Rihanna. It's not like, more than likely that won't be the case for you. But I promise you, you will find the experience of meeting somebody, courting them, whatever, getting them to decide that you're the type of person they wanna shack up with, shag. You're gonna find the experience to be very rewarding. And ain't no telling what you're gonna be able to do after that. You're gonna go out in the world after that, a completely changed person. You're gonna be washed in the embers of, I set out a goal to get laid and it happened. That is gonna make you go out, bro. You're gonna be ready to tackle the world after that. But you have to make a concerted effort to connect on a human level, to make another human being feel you on a human level and be like, okay, this is somebody I can get intimate with. Like, I think these kids are underestimating the powers of human intimacy and connection. And once they achieve that, yes, I'm telling you, the sky's the limit for these bum ass kids.
I really do wish them well on their quest, and it's true. I mean, you read the stats that a lot of them are practicing celibacy.
They're not practicing celibacy.
Like,
it's just nobody wants to screw them
by the process. I think a lot of them are just saying, "I'm just not going to mess with any of that," because, like, who knows? Like, if you say the wrong thing or if you do the wrong thing, then you get blasted on social media. And then she's talking about you in all of her group chats.
Fear of failure is stupid.
Yeah, and you know what? I just watched that movie American Pie. It came out 1999.
Oh my God, I was in 7th grade.
Yeah,
when that came out.
Yes,
legendary.
Too young. Yeah, it didn't age well. So if you haven't seen it, maybe like you can skip it. It's fine. But it was just like,
no, you need to see it.
It was a victorious moment. Maybe you should. Yeah, maybe that is the takeaway here. Is maybe go back and see what was going on back then. But
we weren't scared of our private parts back then. Yeah, I know that's crazy to like consider in the culture that, like, the repressed culture that we live in now. But back then it was like, no, it's like, it's okay. Like, we're human beings. It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah, the turn of the millennium really was a time.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.